Hello, it's Alex from Raw Selection. So I'm here to talk to you guys today about retaining great talent. So with firms like us, search firms who identify great senior talent for you, get them into the business, you secure them, we go through the process, and then you never hear from us again until another vacancy comes up. For us, it's really important that you retain that talent, not only for our own personal reputation, but also, if you're bringing great talent into the business, the last thing you want to be doing is spending money on search firms, placing with you a CEO of a portfolio business, a partner and a principal within your VC or PE firm, to be then having to hire that person again in 6 to 12 months, 18 months, whatever. So it's all about, definitely for Raw Selection, all about retention, you retaining those talent long term. Looks great on us if you place great people into the business, and makes it easier for us to keep you as a client. So with regards to retaining talent, we see this done very poorly across the industry. I've worked with some firms that do incredibly well. And I just want to share some of that with you to help you in retaining those particular candidates that you bring into the business, that you spend a lot of money trying to find. And that just isn't just search firms, but that's your own personal time interviewing all those countless irrelevant candidates that you've brought into the fold, or that the search firm has brought in. Obviously not Raw Selection, but has brought into the business, and those wasted times writing up adverts, sitting down, putting down strategy meetings, and not coming up with the great talent. So if you're having those problems, you need to speak to us. So realselection.co.uk, visit it, message us through it, or find me, Alex Rawlings, on LinkedIn, which is alex.r@rawselection.co.uk. So pitch over. So what can you do to really secure those people? There's a great saying and a quote that goes around, which is a conversation which is transpired in loads of different ways, but my favourite way is the CFO to the CEO. So the CFO asks, what if we spend all this time and money to train our people and they leave? And the CEO turns around and says, what if we don't train them and they stay? What a great insight into a lot of businesses. We don't want to spend that money on them because you'll just end up leaving. Well, it's a short-term strategy. If you look at a lot of businesses, they'll probably only lose 20% churn at the most in a given time, and a lot of that will be poor quality talent that's getting replaced. So it's an 80% of people. If you look at the 80-20 rule, there's 80% of people that you're not training, you're not developing, and not getting any better, and are actually probably getting worse as technology, time, and processes move forward. You're actually losing revenue. And for a PE firm, a venture capital firm, a portfolio business, that's key, because you guys are going for your multiples, your exits, and if you don't get them, then it's not really been worth the time. So with regards to jump straight into it, so the first point is on the induction stage, so getting that right. We're only going to go through the initial parts. I will cover latter stages and retention in another video, but let's not spend all day here. So first thing is, inducting them properly. So giving them a full induction, introducing them to people into their business, showing them around even simple things like health and safety procedures, fire exits, and making them feel like they actually know what it is. One of the places I used to work in, the CEO was obsessed with the hot tap, and he used to show you the hot tap, which was great because it was so difficult to use. You had to tap it down 10 times and spin it around your head, and then it went. But he demonstrated it worked, okay, and he pressed it twice, and then it showed you how to use it. Which, a new person coming into the business is still looking for the kettle, even though there's a boiler hot tap that used to be used, which saved a great deal of time. But it's about showing them the cool little techniques, where the toilets are, okay, so where you are in the business, and obviously if it's a remote type position, there's a portfolio business, there's somebody there on their first day from the private equity, the venture capital business, or the CEO of the portfolio business, if it's a C-suite appointment, that shows them around effectively, shows them the whole plan, gives them a guided tour, and leaves them with some kind of notage when when they eventually disappear, that gives them some kind of direction on what's trying to happen. So that real induction, but just as a very minimum, guys, show people around, okay? Show people, introduce people, and then give them some kind of direction of the people that are around them, and don't expect them to remember everyone's names. So a bit of a seating plan around you. If it's an office, if it's a plant, I'm sure at the C-suite level you're not going to be on the machines, but they have some kind of indication of the senior management team, whether that's the structure. So second point is getting to know them. So building a relationship with your employees and with the people in the business. So not just treating them like a number, treating them like an employee, understanding what they do outside of work and building that connection, finding a similar type interest. It could be NFL, it could be baseball in the UK, soccer, football, whatever it is, to kind of build that mutual connection and make them feel that they can engage and talk to you about that. And therefore you've got some kind of level playing field, is always ideal. Another one is sharing ideas. So the ability to share your ideas with them, their ideas with you, and creating action plans and managing their performance based on those ideas. So it's not a one-stop shop. It's not a this is how we do it, this is how it's going. Chances are, if this person's a C-suite, you're paying them a lot of money and you're paying them to add value, so you want them to do that. They're not going to do that from day one. They're not going to sit down and come up with a full action plan. They will see elements of the business that they can change very quickly based on their experience, and that's what you want. But to bring them into that and let them share their ideas. It could be that it's obvious, that a certain part of the plan is not in the right place, or the investment strategy within the PE firm misses out a critical component, and that, but you haven't been able to get around to it yet. Let them share that idea, and let them feel it's theirs as well, because give them that onus to try and fix that problem. Well, could you come back to me with a plan on that? Could you do this? Could you do that? Use these people, because that's what they want to do. Give them extra responsibility. Extra responsibility will make them proud, will make them work harder, and will make their employee engagement and motivation come forward. And I've done another podcast video blog on that as well. So another one is reviewing progress and engaging with this regularly. So, the amount of people I've seen join a business, first week, CEO, partner, all over them, whoever it is, managing partner, all over them, and then the week after that, they've been left alone, they bought the furniture, they're now in a business, and there's no progress reports. And linked with that is, setting expectations from the word go. So this is how we work as a firm, this is what we do, and this is what we expect of you. We expect you to be in this time, we expect you to be doing this, we expect you to be doing that. Makes things very clear. We expect you to desk by 1, we're flexible about that, take your lunch whenever you want. Make it so they know what's going on, and then there's no complications and no issues whatsoever in the future. So those expectations, but review the progress against it and do it regularly, and do it on a one-to-one basis. Do not do it via email every 3 months, because you lose that personal connection. If you're in a different country, it's a portfolio business, one's in France and you're in the US or whatever, then do it via Skype. Do it so you can see that person, and do it on a regular basis. That isn't every day, that isn't every week, that isn't every month. Some kind of reporting procedure every month would be great, even on a weekly basis for the financial guys. But on a personal level, to understand what's happening in the business, at least every quarter, set aside that time to have to go through that. And the best businesses do it on a more regular basis than that. And it doesn't have to take all day. It just has to take half an hour, just to catch up, have a real strict procedure, cut out the niceties if you're all busy, have a brief discussion about Manchester United or Chicago Bulls, whatever, and that discussion, and then straight into business, bosh it all out, and move on to the next portfolio, move on to the next partner, whatever from there. So that's really, really key. The point I want to leave on, is training. So training is absolutely critical. If you want your people to perform, mentioned at the start, don't be the CFO that says, we don't train because it costs and they'll leave. That isn't how to run a business. If you want to upskill your people, you want to develop them, you want to keep them motivated, you want to keep them adding value to your business, send them on training. It doesn't have to be external, expensive training courses, It doesn't have to be qualifications. It could just be spending time with the managing partner, understanding how to fundraise better. Okay, you're getting the managing partner who's been doing fundraising for ages to work with investor relations lady or man to discuss and go through how they can build more investor relations, what strategies do they use, whatever else from there. Could be going on the Raw Selection blog and having a look through there. We've got origination techniques on there. We've got employee motivation techniques on there for your managers. Loads and loads of quality stuff, and there's tons of information out there that you can get for free, as well as courses to add value to your people. So that'll cut it through. Again, it's Alex Rawlings from Raw Selection for your venture capital, private equity, and portfolio senior talent requirements. Contact me, alex.r@rawselection.co.uk or www.rawselection.co.uk. Thank you.